What's up, everybody? Oh, we are getting down to the final days. Oh, this is the Hen Kit right here. It's hot. Today is hot. Getting ready for the World Cup. There you go. Oh. All right, guys. All right. Alrighty. Oh my goodness, they're cranking it up. It's hot though, I need them higher. See, this is what happens when it gets hot and the birds are working it. I tell you, it don't matter. Whoa, pulled out, no injuries, I'll take it. No injuries. You see how deep that was? I told you. Dude, that must have been at least a 60-foot drop right there. Oh my goodness, look at him, pull right out. Bam, right there. No injuries. I told you my birds can get real deep. Oh man. F4LESS roller, guys. We getting ready. We need them lifted though. Oh. See guys, there's a lot of talk, right? And a lot of times people struggle because they call in time in too early. And then stuff like this happens where they just don't get up lifted enough, and then they start cranking. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And calling in time in too early is not gonna be a good thing. But you know what? We're out here. We're just having fun right now. You know, I don't plan to change anything up. Oh my goodness, there they go again. Woo! Guys, I don't know, man. On camera, I'll be looking sloppy, but when you're out here, they're dropping. Yeah, I love the height that they're at right now. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness, again. Oh my goodness. All right. See, if you're putting up a kit, you gotta enjoy them. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Come on, girls. Oh, there they go again. All right. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Come on, girls. Get up. See, I even hand tossed that bird because I knew that bird was deep. Okay. Whoa, to be safe. Okay. I will hand toss a few of these hens just because I know they're deep. Look at that. Oh, behind the trees. I do know that they get deep, and if the kit doesn't lift right away, you know, I know that they're gonna land. And I don't consider them a bad bird. They're just a deep bird, and if they land, you know, that's gonna be an out bird. So stuff like this you gotta like watch out for, and you really can't take them out the team because they're part of the team, you know. But I need these girls to go up. I know it's hot, but I need them to go up. Go up. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys see that donut right there. Woo. They say you can't see it, the hole in the side. Hopefully I caught that one on video. That bird balled up. All right, girls, come on, go up. See, and my birds said they're not gonna go up like this. They'll crank it, but they're not gonna commit. Come on. I need you guys up. I need you girls up. I need you guys up. I need you guys up. Oh, they're flying too low. They're flying too low. Oh, come on, come on. Hey. Oh. Oh, come on. I'm not used. I don't like this circling thing. You guys shoot up. Break out of this. Break out of this. See, sometimes the birds, when they are on that lean feed, they will do this on this family. And that's where, whoa, that's where it can get really dangerous. All right, let me see if I can get them up. Just because it's getting close to, it's getting very, very close. Shh, shh, shh. Very, 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 very close to the day where shh, 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 shh. They're hot. They don't want to go up. They don't want to go shh, shh, shh. They don't want to go up. Sorry, guys. I need to condition them. I need them up to, oh my goodness, look at that. I don't know if I caught that, guys. I'm just pointing on my phone. I need them to go up, though. Shh, 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 shh. Getting too dangerous. Getting too dangerous. But I need them to work through the heat. And I will push them. Look at that. Oh. See, they don't commit much when they get up to this height. Shh, 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 shh. Shh, 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 shh. And I don't blame them. It's hot today. Oh. And this is what I'm talking about, that I'm going to have a hard time if they don't lift. Because when they get out low like this, they don't want to go back up. They've been cranking it hard already. I try to record them as soon as they went up today, but man, they're hot. Look at them. Their mouth is open. You can just see it in. Oh. Oh. I'd just rather have a safe landing. Safe landing. Oh, safe. All right. Look at that. Look at that. Look how hard they're working. Hey, these girls are working it hard. Look at that. Can you really blame them? You know? Look at that. Exhausted. Heat. It's humid as heck today. Today is humid. It's supposed to get rain tomorrow. So, you know, hopefully that'll help. But, yeah, the humidity's up today. It's just not hot. It's humid. Hot and humid don't go. So, and if you're a bird, you know, that's like running with your jacket on and with your coat on. Okay? That's like running with your coat on. And people get upset with the birds. I'm not upset with the birds. They put on a hell of a show. I know they could do a lot more than this. This is just kind of in the heat moment. So it's kind of like whatever. But I know that they could really crank up. Oh, that yellow, man. That yellow's been flying with them. Are you kidding? I put out another bird right there. And another bird right there. There you go. Look at that. But yeah, guys, you know, like I'm putting up the birds and look at them. They are exhausted. It's hot. It's humid. Look at her. She is overworked. Look at that. That's how you know a bird's been working. Calm down, and they are just exhausted. I caught her a few times in the video. Hopefully, when I load it, it'll look somewhat good. My hands can really ball up really nice. But on film, it looks like crap. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, this is why I don't really record them when they're working it. We are days within the World Cup. I think I like them the way they are right now. I'm going to leave them alone. I did take out the hen that bumped yesterday. She's right there. Yeah, look at her. She's still hurting. You see that? Gave her a little bit of chiropractic adjustment. And she's looking a lot better. But I'm not gonna try to fly her because I know she's gonna come down. But yeah, these birds are working hard. And honestly, if they work this hard and they DQ, it's okay with me. This is why you don't always judge somebody's birds based on scorecards. You know, it could be a solid team and they just DQ because they just work too much and the weather's just hot. You know, learning, that's why I say it's always important to learn how to read the scorecards, because it's going to tell you a lot about the story. And a lot of people, they just pay attention to the total. And the total is not going to do nothing for you. I'm going to tell you that right now. The total is going to tell you how much they score total. You don't get an idea of the quality. You don't get an idea of how many breaks. You don't get, you know what I mean? There's a story to the score sheet when a judge puts it on paper. Learning how to read it will tell you how that kid actually performed. You know, there's sometimes you'll see on a scorecard a kid that's scoring a 1.6 in quality, but then they got a DQ, and people will be like, oh, they DQ, they're not good. But think about it. If that kid was rolling a 1.6, 1.7, that means those birds were balling up. They were working it. It's just upsetting that, you know, only two birds, all it takes is two birds landing. And, you know, it's not that they don't have heart. It's just that, you know, they're just going to struggle in the heat. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, try going fishing right now with your coat on. You know, you're going to be running back home trying to turn on the air conditioning in the car. You know, you're going to be 2 minutes away from taking it off and jumping in the water, you know. So that's how it's working. That's how I look at it. I don't punish the birds. I know that on a cool day, the birds are going to be working it. I've worked this family through the heat of summer, and this family will work through the heat, but they won't fly a long time. That's why I'm able to fly 6 kit boxes, okay? And, you know, they don't fly long, 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, and they land. Look at her, she is so exhausted. See? She can't even stand upright. She gotta lean on her tail. She's gonna get rest. Guys, rest is key to success. A lot of people will tell you that, but I'm gonna tell you that. And when I was young and I was getting to competition, the first few times, man, I pushed the birds up up until the day of. And even then, I probably wasn't too satisfied with them. And I wasn't happy with them. And I'm just like, they can do better. I've seen them do better. And I just keep pushing and pushing them right up till the day of. And then the day of, boom, they go flat. Because I've overworked them. And you don't rest them. And that's the result of overworking them, especially when they're coming into full roll already. This kid right here, every single one of these hens right here, I don't think I'll hesitate to stock them. As far as, you know, based on performance, I don't think I would hesitate to put any one of them away. I think they have the potential to do it. I like them. That's why they're in the main team. I think they have the potential to shine. You know, in fact, some of them are going to be being pulled out soon here to be tried in the loft. I did lose some hens this past year to sickness, and you know, I don't want to pull everything out to breed, but there are a few ones in here that I think earn the spot to at least be tried. But yeah, you know, the hen kit just went up. The cock kit's gonna go back up. And I don't know how people's training days go, but you know, when you have birds that are spending like this already, I don't push them hard. I just basically want to make sure that they're conditioned. Um, you know, because I want them to be in shape to perform a day of. So something like this is just kind of getting them, making sure that they, if you handle these birds right now, they are roll fit. Um, if you're new, you don't know what the term means. Um, you know, to have a bird that's roll fit means that, you know, they are in condition. They feel a certain type of way. Um, they're not. They don't have much fat on them. They're very lean. Um, you know, if you were, I don't know if people ever touch a seagull, but a seagull, if ever you ever handle a seagull, they're like skin and bones, and that's because they fly all day over the water. You know, so they're super fit. But the way they fly, it just makes them look like, you know, they're not that strong, and you know, they could just kind of glide there. But in reality, if you ever held them, they're very lean. And the birds, the pigeons, are also like that. So the homing pigeon guys, you know, they're not gonna like the way our rollers feel when they're a roll fit situation. My girls here they look good because I don't know how anybody else does it, but my family of birds, you feed them all they can eat. You feed them all they can eat, and you don't change it. You do not change it up, especially when they're rolling like this. I'm still feeding them buffet style, but they start cranking it, and even though they're eating good, they're not going to be able to maintain that fat because they're burning it way too fast. And they worked. Now, if they are a family where if you fed them up and they don't roll anymore, then you know I will probably change it up. And there are some families that do that. I prefer easy family because I have a family that's growing, and I don't have time to get out there and measure, you know, my wheat, my Milo, and all that. You know, safflower, peas. I don't have time to do that. So I just do a mix, and I just feed them all of it, all they can eat. And that's all it is. You know, just make sure that they're eating full, the crops are filled up. That's all I look for. I don't do anything fancy. I believe that, you know, if they're a good bird, no matter what they eat, they will always perform. So that's my theory, and I've been kind of moving my birds in that direction. If you want to make them roll on just whatever feed, you could do it. You just have to select through it to make what you want. And you know, a lot of people that are starting up, you know, I got a few people asking me lately that are starting up asking me for birds, like, hey, can you sell me a good bird? And a lot of times I ask them, like, hey, define to me what a good bird is first, because you know, what I consider good might be different from what you consider good. You know, like I've mentioned before, you know, I've given people my birds, and they just don't like it because it doesn't work with their usual training. You know, they want to feed straight wheat. They want them to fly super fast and super, you know, strong. And this family, I'm gonna tell you, they don't. When they're young, they have a strong flight, but as they mature, their wing beats change. As they come in to roll more, their wing beats are just not as strong as they were when they're young. Do they mean that they're weak? No, they could still fly fast if they wanted to. You know, one thing that I struggled with when I was in the city was losing a lot of birds to the bird of prey. Because this family, like I said, when they come in a roll, their wing beats change. They no longer fly fast. They go into that butterfly effect, and They start cranking it more, then they will fly fast, so they will get picked off. And a lot of people go, well, I don't like that. Well, to me, like, I've seen family of birds that shut down and go into survival mode. Survival mode means that they no longer roll, they just fly fast. They're darting around because they want to get away, right? They're darting around, they don't no longer perform, they just want to survive. And I've seen families that do that, and they'll do that for like 2 to 3 days before they calm down. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I need a family, the birds, that, you know what, if they got hit, okay, the hawk's not here anymore, let's go back to performing. I need that relaxation, I need that calmness. And so this family is kind of in that direction, and I kind of like that about them. I was at a crosswalk about it for a while, and like I said, I started flying families that go into that survival mode, and I did not like it. I did not like it because you're wasting days watching birds that just fly like they're racing, and it just kind of killed the vibe. Like, even though there was no hawk attack, they still kind of fly fast and they're just skittish. I don't like that trend, and I don't like that trait. Yeah, it's great because they'll get away majority of the time, but eventually, if you have it bad, they'll get caught anyways. So it's not like they're gonna survive and then gonna be your best bird. That's gonna be your best surviving bird. That's gonna be scared. That's gonna be running for their lives all the time. So I try not to follow those type of birds. This family of birds, I've told people before, I've witnessed them, like getting hit midair, and if a hawk misses, they'll follow that hawk right to the tree, and they'll just circle that tree over and over and over. It's just kind of like what they did here when they were darting around this tree. I've seen this family do it, and I don't know. I still can't decide if that's a stupid trait, or if it's a brave trait. I don't know, guys. I can't tell. But at the same time, I'd rather have them this way than not, because I'd rather see them roll and get snatched up than fly like darts and still get picked off. But yeah, guys, just sorry rambling on, but everybody like things a little different. Like I said, you're gonna have to decide what a good bird is. To the new guys, you gotta decide what a good bird is, what traits you want, what traits you don't want. I still a firm believer that you gotta start with one family first, and a lot of guys are gonna hate me on that and disagree with me on that. But my theory on that is that if you can fly one family without understand that a little bit more, it's going to be easier when you bring in another family of birds. Then you can compare apples to apples, and then you can compare, like, are they going to work well together, and maybe you might even switch over completely. Who knows? But I've seen a lot of guys bring in different families, and it's chaotic. And especially when the birds get a little bit older, like different families perform different ways. Bring in compatible birds, Right now, would I bring anything in? Of course. I'm not afraid to bring anything in. But I would never breed it all into my family. I will make sure, that they are separated. But yeah, guys, this is kind of my team right now for the World Cup, except for some of the young babies. But this is mainly my kit right here. This little grizzle hen right here in the front might be pulled out. That little red hen right there, that's the deep hen that came down. She might be pulled out. This little blue bar, I'm debating on her. I'm not fully agreed. But there go that little bird that I posted before. That she looks drunk all the time. This bird looked drunk all the time. And I found out that I inbreded that bird. on accident. When I went back in the pedigree, it was the father to daughter mating, and she acts drunk, but she kits well, she performs well, and honestly, I might even try her. So as you can tell, like there's some birds in here that I might be pulling out here pretty soon just to try out. This little red bar starting to come in. But yeah, you do what you gotta do. If you bring in a bird, like I said, I'm very selective on if I'm gonna bring in a bird. I have to like the way the bird rolls, the quality of the roll, before I ask somebody like, hey, you mind if I try that bird? Like, I'll give it back to you. I just want to try it, get a few rounds and see how it looks like. It never hurts, guys. You don't need to bring in a whole kit. You don't need to bring in a whole squad. Bring in 1 or 2 birds and try it out and see if it fits in your program. If it does, great. If it doesn't, oh well, so be it. At least you tried. I know the new trend now is to cross everything. So to me, I still don't believe in it. I believe there are some good crosses. Don't get me wrong. But it's when you breed out of those crosses is that you find out if they're really good or not. And like like I talked about, my Havoc crew are a cross. They are, Danny Corney cross or Rick Bean. And I did that cross, and I think it honestly, what this Hen Kit just did, they just went up before this Hen Kit. What this Hen Kit just did, the Havoc crew is doing the exact same thing. But the only difference is that I've had this kit fly high on me before, whereas I have not had the Havoc crew go up yet. And I think that kind of comes from the Rick Me side, because when I had them, the Rick Me birds never really shoot up high. They were usually around that 250 to 300 feet only. And that's the highest I've seen my Havoc crew birds go. And they never go beyond that. I've seen this kit go high when they get chased. And I mean like sky high. So, this family can go up. They don't normally go up. That's why I stuck with this family, because they're consistently low. Some guys don't like low flying families. To me, I don't mind it. I'd rather see a solid roll in my face versus one that I have to use binoculars to look at. So I try not to aim for too high of a family. So those are like some traits that I like to bring in to my birds. If I was to cross, it has to be a consistent bird or a family that doesn't really sky out. And if they sky out a lot, I probably will breed it to the weaker side of my family. I do have a weaker side of my family where they don't fly super high or super strong. Their wing beats are just kind of like a butterfly. And I keep those birds around. I believe in variety. So I keep fast flyers. The only thing I don't really keep is high flyers. I don't like the high flying trait, so I try not to keep those high flying birds around. But anything else that flies low and remains consistent low, I will put them away. But yeah, guys, I'm just kind of rambling now. But 2025 World Cup, let's go. This is the Hen Kit for now. Getting to the last few minutes here, we're gonna shut it down and see what they can do. Hopefully they can put up a good show on the day of and get us a qualifying spot. I know this Hen Kit can really rock. I just need them to lift. So if they lift, I'm golden. If they don't, then I'm gonna be in a little bit of trouble. But still debating between the hens and the cock. The cock birds are gonna go up next here. I'm gonna call these hens down. But yeah, F4LESS Roller, we out.